The movie begins with Millie Calloway, a beautiful young woman who needs a fresh start, so she shows up at the Winchester house in New York. She wants to be a live-in housemaid. The woman who opens the door is Nenah Winchester. Nenah looks at Millie's resume and says she is too qualified because Millie has a college degree. Millie stays calm and replies that she likes cleaning houses, but only for the right families. Nenah gets straight to the point. She tells Millie that the job includes cleaning the house and helping take care of her 7-year-old daughter, Cecilia, who everyone calls Sissy. Nenah then gives Millie a tour. She says the interior design was done by her husband, Andrew, who works in tech. Nenah shows Millie a room with a big TV and a shelf full of drinks. She says Andrew loves spending time there, and Millie is welcome to use it anytime. Next, Nenah shows her the second living room and says they barely use it. Millie feels a little awkward and asks if Nenah really needs a nanny, since everything already looks clean and tidy. Nenah then admits she is pregnant and will need all the help she can get. She asks Millie not to tell Andrew yet, because it is still early and she wants to be sure. Millie nods and congratulates her. Nenah shows Millie Sissy's bedroom, then points to a tiny model of the house. She says Andrew made it. After that, Nenah takes Millie to her own bedroom, which is at the top of the house, away from the main rooms. Nenah tells Millie she can decorate with plants or play loud music because the room is soundproof. At the end of the tour, Nenah hands Millie a $20 bill for gas and says she will call once she makes a decision. But deep down, Millie knows Nenah probably will not call back after running a background check. Everything on her resume is a lie. Millie freshens up in a public bathroom, then goes back to her car and sleeps there. The next day, police spot Millie and wake her up to ask questions. Right then, Nenah calls and says Millie got the job. Millie thanks her happily. That afternoon, Millie arrives at the house, but no one opens the gate. She asks a man nearby if he knows the code. His name is Enzo Accardi. Millie says she does not know the code, so Enzo opens the gate for her. Millie steps inside and finds the house a complete mess. Nenah greets her and says she needs to clean up because Nenah has to work on a speech for the Parents Teachers Association. Nenah takes Millie's bags and offers to put them in her room. Millie cleans until the house is spotless. Soon after, Andrew comes home with Sissy. Nenah introduces Millie and says she will be living with them. Andrew is unsure at first, but Nenah promises Millie will be a big help. Andrew welcomes her. Millie goes to her room and notices a small fridge with 3 bottles of water. She also realizes the door cannot be locked from the inside, only from the outside. When she tries to open the window, it does not move. Nenah comes in with dinner and explains the window does not really open, but she will ask the handyman to fix it. Millie asks if the handyman is the man working in the yard. Nenah shakes her head and says Enzo is the groundskeeper. Millie then asks for a key to her room. Nenah laughs and says she will bring one later, adding that the room used to be Andrew's storage closet for files, and leaves. Soon after, Nenah returns with a brand new phone. She says the household credit card is linked to it, so Millie can buy groceries and other things for the house. The next morning, Millie wakes up late and runs downstairs. She sees Nenah angrily throwing things around the living room. Millie is shocked and asks what is wrong. Nenah says she left her PTA speech on the counter and now it is missing. She blames Millie for throwing it away. Andrew steps in and calms Nenah down. He says he will take Sissy to school while Nenah rewrites the speech, reminding her she has until the evening to finish. Millie is confused but starts cleaning the mess. Andrew says he does not understand why Nenah has been so emotional lately and offers to help, but Millie says she can handle everything herself. While taking out the trash, Millie sees Enzo outside. He asks her what she is doing here. Before he can say more, he spots Nenah, says something under his breath, and quickly walks away. Later, while cleaning the master bathroom, Millie finds a tablet. Nenah appears behind her and startles her, but Millie stays calm. Nenah talks about not fitting in with the other PTA moms. Then she tells Millie to start making dinner. That night, while Nenah is at a meeting, Millie prepares dinner. She asks Sissy if she wants juice. Sissy says yes, but tells Millie to use a different glass because this one is dirty. Millie says it just came out of the dishwasher, but Sissy refuses to drink from it. She says in a mean way that juice is a privilege and must be drunk with proper manners. Millie is confused and brings a new clean glass. Andrew asks Millie to stay and eat with them, but she politely says no. Back in her room, Millie looks at Andrew's Instagram profile. Suddenly there is a knock. Andrew brings her a cupcake. Millie thanks him. Something inside her feels warm when she sees Andrew, and he looks at her kindly. Just as Andrew leans in to kiss her, Millie wakes up. It was only a dream. She feels relieved, but in her heart, she has developed feelings for Andrew. The next day, Millie sets breakfast on the table. Nenah hands her the key to her room and asks how things went with Andrew and Sissy. Millie says it went fine. Nenah sighs and admits Andrew is not a big fan of her cooking, but he always eats it without complaining. A few days later on Saturday, Nenah asks Millie to drop Sissy off at ballet class. Millie reminds her it is her day off. Nenah complains that Millie made her miss a hair appointment earlier by throwing away her PTA speech. Millie insists she needs to attend an important meeting. Andrew overhears the argument and offers to take Sissy himself. Millie then meets with her parole officer, who asks about her job and where she lives. The officer warns her to hold on to this job because if she messes up, she could go back to jail for the remaining 5 years of her sentence. Now we understand that Millie has a criminal record and still has 5 years left to serve. After the meeting, Nenah calls and asks Millie to pick Sissy up from ballet class. Millie goes to the dance studio and runs into a PTA mom named Patrice. Millie introduces herself and says she works for Nenah and is there to get Sissy. But Patrice says Sissy has had a playdate with Emma for weeks. Millie insists that Nenah told her to pick Sissy up. Annoyed, Patrice calls Nenah, who denies asking Millie to do that. Millie is furious, but cannot do anything. When Millie returns to the house, Nenah scolds her for causing a scene in front of Patrice. Nenah says she already told Millie that Sissy was having a sleepover. Then she introduces Millie to Evelyn Winchester, Andrew's mother, who brought some lovely china plates. Andrew arrives home and greets his mother. That night, Millie cannot sleep, so she goes downstairs to watch TV. Moments later, Andrew joins her. Millie apologizes and starts to leave, but he asks her to stay. They watch Family Feud together. Millie says she likes the show. Andrew jokes that his family would have crushed it and calls them champions. He asks about Millie's family. She admits she does not really keep in touch with them. To lighten the mood, Andrew gently touches Millie's leg and jokes that he, Millie, his parents, and Nenah would make a great team on the show. Millie notices his touch but quickly changes the subject and asks about Nenah's parents. Andrew says Nenah's parents died in a house fire when she was young, and police never found out who started it, but some people think Nenah did it herself. Just then, Nenah walks in and finds them together. She feels jealous and furious inside but hides it. Andrew says they were just watching a game show, then excuses himself and leaves. As soon as Andrew leaves, Nenah turns to Millie and fires her. Millie begs for another chance. After thinking for a moment, Nenah agrees but warns her to stay far away from her husband. The next day, Millie prepares food for a PTA gathering. While serving the moms, she overhears them making fun of their nannies. Nenah announces that she is looking for a nanny herself. The moms ask how far along she is. Nenah corrects them and says she and Andrew are trying to have a baby and are planning to visit a fertility clinic. She gets a phone call and leaves. Once Nenah is gone, the moms gossip about her. Patrice says Andrew must be a saint to deal with Nenah's behavior and mentions that Nenah had nothing when she married him. They also say Nenah once spent 9 months in a psychiatric ward. Millie is horrified. That night, Millie writes in her journal that she thinks Nenah is crazy for lying about being pregnant. Suddenly, Nenah bursts into her room and asks Millie to watch Sissy this Saturday while she and Andrew go to a doctor's appointment in the city. Millie agrees. Saturday arrives, and after Nenah and Andrew leave, Millie checks the medicine cabinet. She realizes Nenah's medication is for psychosis. Millie leaves a voicemail for her friend Lexi, asking if she knows of any job openings and saying she needs to get out of this house. Sissy overhears and asks if Millie is leaving. Millie says no and starts making her a sandwich. But Sissy is very smart and stubborn and keeps insisting she knows Millie is leaving. To change the subject, Millie asks if Sissy has any crushes at school. This makes Sissy even more upset. She tells Millie she does not have to be her friend. Millie gently says she does because she likes her. Soon after, Sissy leaves and plays with her dollhouse. While playing, she repeats the phrases, "Don't spill. Juice is a privilege." Millie does not understand why Sissy keeps saying that. Millie scolds Sissy and tells her not to say things like that. Suddenly, they hear Nenah screaming as she returns. Andrew tries to comfort her, but Nenah is angry and storms to her room. Andrew feels embarrassed. He tells Millie that Nenah has premature ovarian insufficiency, which means she cannot have children. He says they have been trying for years. He admits he always wanted kids and reveals that Sissy is not his biological daughter. That night, Millie hears loud yelling and screaming. She goes to check and sees Nenah holding a bloody piece of glass, smiling in a creepy way. Millie gets scared and calls for Andrew. Andrew takes the glass away from Nenah and shuts the door. The next morning, Nenah apologizes to Millie for lying about the pregnancy. Millie smiles politely to keep the peace. Nenah offers Millie some of her clothes. Millie hesitates, but when Nenah insists, she accepts. Then Nenah asks Millie to do her a favor. Book 2 Broadway tickets and a hotel room for this Saturday so she can make things right with Andrew. She says Sissy will stay with a friend and Millie will have the day off. Millie agrees and does what Nenah asked. Later, Millie goes to pick up Sissy from ballet class. One of the moms asks if she is the new maid for the Winchester family. Millie says yes. The woman tells her that Sissy has been through a lot. She reveals that Nenah once tried to drown Sissy and later tried to kill herself by taking too many pills. Millie is shocked. The woman adds that Andrew saved them both. Back at the house, Millie asks Enzo what he knows about the family, but Nenah interrupts angrily and demands to know why Millie bought Broadway tickets. Millie reminds her that Nenah asked her to do it. Nenah accuses her of lying and says she and Sissy are supposed to go to art camp this Saturday. She also says the tickets are non-refundable, so the cost will be taken out of Millie's paycheck. Millie begs again, saying she will have nothing if that happens, but Nenah is cruel and refuses to change her mind. Andrew comes home, and Nenah tells him what Millie did. Nenah leaves. Andrew calms Millie down and says she does not have to pay. Millie feels relieved, and this makes her feelings for Andrew even stronger. Days later, Nenah and Sissy leave for art camp. Millie takes a shower and runs into Andrew when she comes out. He quickly apologizes awkwardly and leaves, which makes Millie smile. Later, Andrew tells Millie he could not get the tickets refunded and asks if she wants to go with her boyfriend. Millie says she does not have one. Andrew thinks for a moment and then asks if she would like to go with him instead. Millie wanted this to happen so badly, but she pretends to hesitate. Andrew insists, so she agrees. She wears the same dress Nenah gave her. Andrew is amazed by how good she looks. They see the show and have a wonderful time. At dinner, Andrew talks about running the data processing company his father left him. He says he always wanted to be a good husband and have children. He asks Millie if she wants kids, and she says yes someday. Andrew then asks about Millie's past, but Millie likes Andrew very much and wants to impress him at any cost, so she lies about her history. After dinner at the hotel, they check in. Millie asks the front desk for a phone charger, and they give her one. They go to their separate rooms. While Millie charges her phone, she sees many angry messages from Nenah. She rushes to Andrew's room and shows him. Millie starts crying, and Andrew comforts her. As he does, they look at each other and end up sleeping together. The next morning, Andrew tells Millie she is beautiful. An hour later, they return to the house and feel relieved that Nenah is not home yet. They keep making loving gestures. Sometime later, Nenah walks in. She quickly apologizes to Millie for the messages she sent. Curiously, she asks how Millie spent her day off. Millie lies and says she went to a bar with her friend Lexi. Nenah smiles and compliments Millie's cooking. Then, in a surprising twist, Nenah brings up Millie's time in prison. She asks sarcastically how Millie learned to cook so well while she was locked up. Andrew is shocked but says nothing. Millie feels deeply embarrassed. Nenah casually tells Andrew that Millie spent 10 years in prison, but says it is good that she is trying to start fresh. Nenah then gives Millie a grocery list and tells her rudely to focus on her job. While shopping, Millie runs into a PTA mom who notices her new phone. The woman says most nannies would not take a phone from their employer because it can be used to track them. Millie suddenly realizes that Nenah must be tracking her and must know about the affair with Andrew. As she tries to process this, police arrive and handcuff her. Nenah reported Andrew's credit card as stolen. Andrew comes and picks Millie up. Millie admits she went to prison while still in high school. Andrew says she does not need to explain her past and tells her he knows she is a good person. When they return home, Nenah confronts them after finding the Broadway playbill. She accuses them of having an affair. They both deny it, and Andrew says Nenah is imagining things again. Nenah fires Millie on the spot and demands money from her, accusing her of stealing her clothes. Millie is stunned. Andrew loses his temper and snaps at Nenah, telling her to leave the house. Nenah is shocked. Millie gains confidence and mocks Nenah, asking if she wants her to pack her things for her. Nenah gets furious, slaps Millie, and storms out. After Nenah leaves, Millie offers to go as well because she needs a job and a stable place to live to follow her parole rules. Andrew insists she stay with him, and Millie agrees. Over the next few weeks, life feels wonderful for Millie. She and Andrew grow very close and keep sleeping together. One day, Andrew casually says his mother loves his smile, and other women do too. One morning, Millie is making breakfast when she sees Enzo watching her from outside. She tells Andrew, and Andrew fires Enzo immediately. Millie apologizes for accidentally breaking the china plates that Andrew's mother brought. Andrew says not to worry, but asks her to pick up the pieces so someone can glue them back together. That evening, Andrew carefully looks at the broken china. He asks why she did not clean up the pieces. Millie says she was afraid of cutting herself. Andrew just nods. He leads Millie to her bedroom and offers her champagne. They drink and start making out. Later, Millie wakes up alone. She is terrified to see that everything in her room is gone except the bed and the fridge. She tries to open the door but realizes it is locked from the outside. She panics and yells for Andrew to open it. Now the story goes back to a few weeks earlier, right after Nenah left the house. Instead of being sad, Nenah feels relieved to finally escape Andrew's control. It turns out Andrew is abusive and had been manipulating Nenah for many years. Nenah's trauma started when she was 8 years old. She did not start the fire at her house, no matter what Andrew told people. Nenah once wanted to be a lawyer, but her life changed when she fell in love with her professor and got pregnant with Sissy. The professor rejected both of them. She gave up her dreams and worked as a secretary at a law office. One day, her boss saw stains on her blouse, made fun of her, and told her to clean up. That was when Andrew first noticed her. Andrew told Nenah how bad he felt for her and asked her out. After only 6 weeks of dating, he proposed, and Nenah said yes. She thought she was getting a fairy tale, but deep down, she felt something was wrong, especially after learning that Andrew's previous fiancée, Kathy, had called off the wedding. One day, Andrew noticed Nenah's hair roots showing and reminded her to get them done. The next day, she still had not done them because she forgot while dropping Sissy off. Andrew sent her to the attic to get his file. Once she was inside, he locked her. He ordered her to pull out 100 hairs from her scalp with the roots still attached. He told her hair was a privilege and had to be maintained. Nenah thought it was a joke, but soon realized Andrew was completely serious. She cried, but Andrew left her there. An entire day passed. Starving, Nenah had no choice but to obey. She pushed the pulled hairs under the door and then passed out from weakness. The next day, Andrew said she missed one hair because one strand did not have a follicle. He made her start over. When she finished again, Andrew opened the door and gave her water. Nenah drank it, then rushed downstairs to find Sissy. But the water had been drugged. Andrew staged a scene to make it look like Nenah tried to drown Sissy. Police came, and Nenah was sent to an asylum. She had no choice but to falsely agree that she had mental problems just so she could be released and return to Sissy. Andrew had planned everything perfectly. Soon she realized Andrew had already won Sissy's love, leaving Nenah trapped. Andrew showed the world he was the perfect husband while making Nenah look unstable. Eventually, Andrew wanted his own children, but Nenah never wanted to have a baby with him. She got an IUD and secretly paid the doctor to tell Andrew she was infertile. Enzo tried to help Nenah and Sissy escape by getting fake passports, but Andrew found out, though he never learned Enzo was behind it. Eventually, Nenah saw Andrew's biggest weakness. He needed to be admired. She began planning her escape again, looking for a replacement. Millie was perfect, alone, vulnerable, and needing to be saved. That was exactly the kind of person Andrew liked. But when Nenah learned Millie had gone to prison for murder, her plan changed. Enzo tried to stop her from using Millie as bait, but Nenah insisted. She made Enzo promise to let her go through with it. He agreed, only if he could keep watch over Millie. Nenah then prepared to leave for California with Sissy. Back to the present. Andrew tells Millie that the china plate she broke cannot be replaced because he grew up eating from it. Millie says it was an accident. Andrew coldly says family legacies are a privilege. He slides one piece under the door and orders her to cut her stomach 21 times, once for each broken piece. He warns that if she does it wrong, she will have to start over. As Millie prepares to cut herself, she remembers the man she killed. He was rich, admired, and seen as a saint, just like Andrew. One day, Millie saw him taking advantage of her roommate. She got furious, hit him on the head with a pot, and killed him. But her roommate refused to testify, and even Millie's parents turned their backs on her. Millie was sentenced to 15 years. She took a plea deal and was released on parole after 10 years. Now Millie fully understands that Nenah chose her on purpose to be the scapegoat. She is trapped with no options. She completes the 21 cuts and passes out. Meanwhile, Nenah tells Sissy they are moving to California. Sissy suggests they take Millie with them. Nenah says Millie is with Andrew now. Sissy looks at her as if to say she will not leave Millie behind, and Nenah gives her a very serious look. The next day, Andrew opens the door and tells Millie he is proud of her. He promises she can have anything she wants, as long as she learns that actions have consequences. He says he will give her everything she needs, especially a husband like him. Millie pretends to agree, but suddenly she stabs him with a knife hidden in the mini fridge. Nenah had placed it there earlier. As Andrew struggles, Millie tries to escape, but he grabs her. After a lot of fighting, Millie gets out and closes the door, locking Andrew inside. Luckily, she has grabbed his phone too. Millie discovers there are hidden cameras in the room, and Andrew had been watching her the whole time. Andrew pretends to be good and says he now realizes how wrong he was to lock her up, but Millie does not listen. Andrew shouts for her to let him out. Then, Nenah calmly comes downstairs. While eating a sandwich, she sees a message from Evelyn pop up on Andrew's phone. This gives Millie an idea. Andrew's mother had been brainwashing him all along. Millie gathers all the china plates and grabs a pair of pliers. She goes upstairs and tells Andrew he must pull out his front tooth, or she will destroy every piece of china his mother ever gave him. Andrew begs, but Millie is not like Nenah. Prison made her very tough, and she knows how to deal with cruel people. Andrew hesitates, so Millie starts breaking the dishes. Finally, Andrew pulls his tooth out. Millie leaves him there and says she will be back. That night, convinced by Sissy, Nenah returns to the house to save Millie. She does not know Millie has already escaped and that Andrew is the one locked in the attic. Nenah says outside the attic door that she is there to help. Andrew is too smart to say anything. Millie hears a noise from the attic and rushes upstairs just as Nenah opens the door. Before Millie can warn her, Andrew appears behind Nenah and pushes her down the stairs. He then chases Millie. After a short struggle, Millie gets free and hides. Andrew finds Nenah. He tells her they can go back to how things were before. Nenah pretends to get emotional. Andrew smiles, but Nenah quickly says she will never accept a cruel person like him again. Andrew gets furious. Just as he is about to hit Nenah, Millie comes out and pushes Andrew down the stairs. He dies right there. Nenah quickly unscrews a light bulb and drops it. She tells Millie she will tell the police that Andrew slipped and fell while changing the bulb. Millie says they will not believe that story, but Nenah tells her to run anyway. Before leaving, Millie puts Andrew's tooth next to his body. Later, Nenah tells an officer a cover story. She says she came home after dropping Sissy off at art camp, and her maid was on a 1-week break. The officer points out that Andrew's injuries are too bad for a simple fall. Then she reveals she knew Andrew personally. He was once engaged to her sister Kathy, who became very disturbed after their relationship and never got better. The officer closes the case and calls it a freak accident. After Andrew's funeral, the PTA moms give their sympathy. Evelyn, Andrew's mother, says Andrew had a beautiful smile and mentions that police found a missing tooth next to him. She adds that if you do not take care of your teeth, you lose the privilege of having them. Nenah looks at Evelyn and feels sorry for her because it was her wrong parenting that raised a monster like Andrew. Evelyn does not stop there. She criticizes Nenah and asks if this is how she lets her daughter dress for her father's funeral. Nenah stays quiet and does not answer. Later, Nenah spots Millie. Before leaving, Nenah thanks Millie and hands her a check so Millie can start over. Millie looks at it. It is for $1 million. Millie is very surprised and thankful. In the last scene, Millie goes to an interview for a housemaid position at a big fancy house. The woman interviewing her says Nenah recommended her, but warns that her husband is hard to please. Millie notices an injury mark on the woman's wrist. Millie smiles calmly and asks, "When can I start?" And that is the end of the story. If you liked this video, please press the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.